So we back with another episode. I'm excited about this episode. Definitely some gems are going to be dropped here, but one thing I always talk about that I want you guys to really take from not only this interview but all the interviews is the power of networking. Your network will determine your net worth, and this is one reason why this platform exists, to bring a network to all of you guys who are either looking to get into the real estate industry in any type of way. Anybody who's wondering about the real estate industry, this is for you. This brother, I'm super excited to have him on the show. Not only is he a brother of mine, he's a great ally of mine in business. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's gonna really drop some gems on you guys. I'm definitely appreciative to him taking his time out to come and sit with us today. Obviously, he's sugar sharp. One thing I always say about my brother, he smells damn good, right? No homo, he smells good. Listen, this brother smells so good. He walked through the room, and he's a great example of what success not only looks like, but he's humble in everything that he does. He's a genuine guy, and he's somebody that I'm always excited to talk to about business. So I know you guys are gonna take a lot from this interview, and I don't like to call it an interview. We're really just gonna have a conversation where we're just gonna drop some gems and talk about our relationship and how we come together, how we work together, and just all of the stuff that he has going on in his businesses and his personal life as well that he wants to share with you guys. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce my brother Jay, and I'll let him tell you guys the rest.
How everybody doing? I'm Jay Biv. First, I want to thank Gatsby for having me on this episode.
For sure, no doubt.
Because for me to be here, I'm worthy in his eyes, and his
Most
opinion
definitely
matters to me, his perception. Because this is a good brother right here, along with the young lady in the back. All of that. So, commercial real estate. I'm on the contracting end, general contractor, construction manager. So, how I help commercial developers is when they want to do land acquisition to build. They come to me first and say, hey, how will this roll out? Here's my ROI. Can we make these numbers work? So we look at it holistically. What type of structure you're trying to build, what you're trying to build there, restaurant,
not to cut you off, but when you say, so you typically deal with investors, because when you talk about the ROI, this is somebody that's looking to build a project that they're going to be invested in. Is it strictly residential, or are you dealing in commercial as well?
So to speak to both commercial and residential.
Okay.
So just to throw out a brand, let's say we're going to build a tropical smoothie.
Okay.
Right. So there's a landlord and then there's a tenant, landlord lease agreement. So with landlord lease agreements, there's always like a net 5 years with an optional 1.
Okay.
And the landlord is going to supply that tenant so many things in his build out.
Okay.
Whether it's new electric service, mechanical units on the roof, ductwork, whatever the case may be. And when you figure out those costs, that tenant then understands, hey, well, if I provide these items myself, then my monthly lease is going to be less. So that's where I come in and say, hey, if you're going to, pay for this lease at $25 a square foot, it's best that you provide all these services for your build out rather than have your landlord do some tenant improvement allowances where he grants you TIs to do it. So, we approach it in so many different angles. Now on the residential end, if an investor want to do a buy and hold or a fix and flip, they already got numbers in mind where they got to meet their quota.
Okay.
With that 40% rule.
Yeah, most definitely.
Speaking of it, that's something he taught me. The 40% rule.
Yeah, most definitely. And you guys can catch that in the Top Tier Solutions 7 Steps to Success course, and then you guys will hear about that, the 70% rule, as well as how to calculate cap rates and things like that. And all this stuff that Jay is talking about, that we're talking about, for some of you guys, it's not going to make sense, but it's going to all be able to be pieced together the further you invest in yourself. And for those who are active in the real estate industry, whether on the commercial side of things or the residential side of things, this brother has done a ton of projects. I know he talks to me about all of the different projects that he has done around the state of Michigan. You want to talk about some of those commercial projects that you've had a part of?
So many. But since we downtown Detroit right now, on one close by Detroit Shipping Container.
Okay.
Right near Little Caesars Arena. That was a project that first, when it was in the inception stages, we had to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement to even get knowledge of the project before I can even put a bid on it. So how that project unfolded, the guy was just driving in the area, Googling contractors near me. came to my office, and then that's when he brought his blueprints. We sat down, we spoke about it. I told him, hey, give me about 2 weeks, go through the drawings, pick this thing apart for you. We can meet again on site, go through it thoroughly. Mm-hmm. And always disclosure. I always tell people, hey, I'm not the cheapest contractor you're gonna get into an agreement with, because the
quality costs, right?
Right. The level of dedication, passion, professionalism, accountability that I'm gonna hone in on in this project is gonna be the reason why you can sleep at night. So, you gotta know your self-worth at the end of the day, I believe.
And the shipping company is definitely a landmark in the city of Detroit. You've done some more projects outside of Detroit as well, right?
Yeah, I would say probably bigger projects is like Menards. We've done some renovations, massive renovations and that was under my construction management firm. We construction managed the rollout for three-phase, if you will, renovation to Chesterfield Menards along with Port Huron Menards, and those ran concurrently together. So there was a lot of activity out there. Currently, on the residential end, I'm doing a 41 unit right now, construction management, with a group out of Queens.
Let's talk about that, because I've been actually selling a lot of apartment buildings lately. That seems to be the thing. Obviously, that's always the thing in real estate. Is multi-units are better. But we've had our hand in a lot of apartment buildings, and a lot of people are looking to get into those multi-unit investments. So just from the side of contract work and what you're doing with the 40 unit, just kind of give some do's and don'ts, I guess, in the beginning of shopping around for a project at that big, especially for somebody that might be their first apartment building.
So do's, do your market research, do your homework. Don'ts, don't try to make all the money. Just make some money. That's how people build capital, by not trying to make all of it, but understanding this is a marathon, not a sprint. And the more you acquire, the more money gonna come. So, but with multi-units, where I see where they go wrong at and where the numbers be off at, is when investors don't bring contractors in on the front end, right? For the walkthrough, right? Or they may have some. A
lot of investors feel like they can kind of go like me, right? With mostly, I wouldn't say a project as big as a 40 unit. That's a big project. But if I'm looking at a single family or a 2 unit, even up to a 3 unit, right? I can pretty much do a visual walkthrough and have a pretty close estimate of what that repair work is going to be. But I totally agree with what you're saying. If you bring that contractor ahead of time, then you could definitely end up saving yourself more money in the long run, right? Because even with me doing like off the top of my head estimates, I'm close enough to make the deal work, especially on the wholesale side of things, for me to make a profit that I'm satisfied with. But it's always, maybe I could have made an extra $2, $3, $4, $5, maybe even $10,000. Like Jay was saying, do your market research for sure, but always consult with a professional, because it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run, right? And even if you're a wholesaler watching this, use your contractors for estimates, because you may make an amount of money that you're satisfied with, but we all can, if we can make an extra, like I said, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 by getting those numbers accurately, that's going to definitely work in our benefits, right?
Right. Just to speak to that, and that estimate you're talking about on the investor end, that's an index. Okay. Pretty much history that you've gathered data on numerous flips or numerous buy and holds similar in nature of the build out. Right. So you like, hey, at this square footage, I can pay $17 and get this amount of money. Right.
And well, would it be any differences in there though?
Differences, yeah. Quality, materials. Okay. Not wanting to do lipstick on a pig. Yeah. Things of that sort. And but also to speak to what you're saying about having a contractor in the front end. The reason you do that is because you may put that deal together, but then if the labor force numbers don't work out, well then that investor deal is not gonna work. And then that, what it does, it messes up your deal. Right. So you wanna have concrete numbers, because the people that's gonna do the work, that's where the numbers should come from. I'm pro trade, so.
Yeah, most definitely, because you're right, everybody's numbers are different. It may not be a small difference. It could actually be a big difference. And then also outside of the numbers being the difference, the quality of work, right? So you definitely should, Jay is absolutely right, consult with and have the company or the contract team that's going to actually do that project there from the start, right? That's going to be very important. So outside of that, what I really want to talk about, because obviously, you know, we met in a sales and marketing arena, right?
Yeah.
So I always say that's my expertise, sales and marketing. Me and Jay met a little over 8 years ago in a sales and marketing firm, Blue Chip Endeavors. I talked to you guys, or through our interviews, you guys may have heard me talk about my time of running my franchise at AT&T. And that's where we met. And this brother actually helped me to grow and build my team and my company from within that sales and marketing arena. So as passionate as I am about sales and marketing, I know he is the same way. And the one thing that you all should know is that sales and marketing is going to be relevant in any business that you do, but it's definitely relevant in this real estate industry. So Jay, with the sales and all those sales and marketing skills that we learned when we were in Blue Chip, what are a lot of those skills, or how do you carry that with you to achieve the level of success that you've achieved since we moved from that point?
Man, I can speak about that all day.
Yeah, for sure.
But to start with it, prime example. Prior to Blue Chip, still worked in construction management, general contractor, more low-level office manager, junior estimator, branched off, worked for the government to do my own general contracting. After I got with Blue Chip, you know, for whatever reason, why I switched industries. You know, I was at a fork in the road, so things shifted. I had to pivot. No pun intended.
For sure.
So when I got with Blue Chip, and when I learned sales, I don't mean just regular sales.
No, this was deep. Like, we come from a deep situation.
That's deep
A lot of
sales.
people don't know that. Like, I get in front of this camera, you know, and I talk about all of my endeavors. I talk about my success in real estate. But one thing I always know is the sales and marketing training and experience that we got from Blue Chip Endeavors. Shout out Dan, definitely a major part of my life and my growth. So I always shout him out. And just Sidcore and AT&T and that whole system that groomed me with the skills necessary to go on and be a successful serial entrepreneur. I really want to hear you speak on it, because we can really get excited about it for real.
After learning sales and then going back to construction, the construction industry, I ascended. I closed more deals, you know, by practicing those 8 great work habits, working a full day.
Great point.
You know,
He just mentioned the 8 great work habits. The Art of Mastering the 8 Great Work Habits by Byron Gatsby, my digital ebook, will be available as you guys are watching this interview. And he just kind of dropped the gem and let you guys know where the foundation of that book that I wrote came from. The 8 Great Work Habits changed my life. Obviously, it was very impactful on Jay's life because he's mentioned it, and that's why I had to put all that information in the book. So you guys go check that out. But just talk about the 8 Great Work Habits and how you utilize them still on a daily basis.
It's like just the main one, like the core one that resonates within me is working a full day and working my territory.
Yes, sir.
Because my territory is everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm everywhere. You know, like the blob, I just engulf you. You feel me?
So,
and that's how I approach it, man. That's how I approach it. And like, no sale is too big, no sale is too small. I'm not in it to get rich. I'm in it to build a portfolio. I'm in it to help people feed their families. There's a motive behind it. There's not a hidden agenda. And when people see that passion and they see that integrity, they kind of want to connect to that.
Yeah, most definitely, because they can feel your passion for one. And just when you put it in work in the territory correctly, like some people are going to take that like and hear it from a labor perspective, right? But it's not from a labor perspective. It's from an everything perspective, like he said. Any environment or territory that you're in, you have to ask yourself, have I crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's to conquer and get the most out of this time spent over here, whatever I'm engaged in, and leave an impression on the people I'm engaging with and walk away with the result that I came to get. That's what working that territory is about, making sure that you're present and an understanding of your preparation to go into any environment, right? Any environment that you're in. And honestly, I always tell a lot of people when I teach on working the territory, start with your home, right? Is your home prepared properly for you to have the level of success that you desire? It starts there, you know? I know a guy I can't remember who he was, but he shared a message and said that if you want to be successful, start with making your bed. You know, start with making your bed consistently every day. Start with organizing your home and working that territory, making sure that's the most productive environment, and that energy will radiate, and those habits will transition into any territory that you're in. So that's good, Jay. I'm glad we hit on that. But before we get off, give me two more great work habits that you still utilize on a daily basis.
Well, really, to be honest, man, just those are the common core ones.
Yeah, for sure. Work a full day and work your territory.
Relative to my industry.
Most definitely.
You know, and that's what you do. Like, you put it in perspective, what works for you, right?
Yes, sir.
And those are the ones that I just live by.
Yes, sir.
Those two.
Definitely. And then, so what else would you say, you know, just from a sales and marketing background, or that somebody, skill sets that somebody should really have that's looking into this industry, whether it's from an investor side of things, or somebody may be looking to come into a career in contracting work, or for a lot of us who are in the wholesaling side of things and we're working and forming partnerships with contractors, what other gems would you drop as far as skills that's needed to be effective?
Well, more of it's the intangibles, being personable. You can't teach that.
Right.
You know, because you can be the most skilled person, the most, the best finished carpenter in the world, build the best backdrop there is on the face of this planet. But if you're not personable, then a client won't deal with you. You have to be able to, read, relax, and relate to your audience. And not necessarily sell yourself, but sell yourself. Be confident. Understand your worth. Understand your client's vision. So you got to actively listen and be able to deliver. So I would say the intangible of being personable and not being like a machine where you can't be reached, but
it's business. It's business, but it is personal, right? Because if somebody's going to be spending their money with you, right? We don't want to make it. I always used to teach, we don't want to make a transaction only about that transaction, because that client or customer walks away only thinking about the transaction. And usually when somebody thinks about the transaction without you present, they typically think about all of the negatives involved, right? Or think their way out of it. But if you're personable, like you said, right, and you're developing that likeness, that people like you, they know that we had personal connection conversation. We might have talked about sports. I was smiling a lot. Anything that is genuine that I can give off to that client or customer that makes them remember me more so than the business that we talk about, then that's usually when I've noticed that all transactions seem to go smooth, because they want to support me. You know what I'm saying? They like, this guy had good energy. He wasn't just trying to get my money out of me. He wasn't just trying to beat me up on the numbers. It wasn't just all about him. He took the time out to get to know me, a person that's spending money with me. Ask questions like, how long they been in the business? What does this project mean to them? How important is this project to them? Like, get to know your client. So what Jay is talking about is very, very important, and we can kind of go back and forth on it, because these are skills that we were able to develop in our sales and marketing background to even be able to pass along and speak on it with you guys, today.
At one part in there, no, you good.
You pause it, man.
Yeah, one part.
So I definitely, while we got this brother here, I really want to take advantage of this time. So what I want to talk to you about next, Jay, because as we both know, business is one thing, right? Success is one thing.
Right.
This real estate industry is one thing.
Right.
But none of this can exist without that firm, solid, personal foundation, right? So I really want you to talk to the audience and the people about just the personal, daily, disciplines, investments, struggles you overcome, that how you deal with those things and how they've allowed you to propel in your career overall as an entrepreneur.
I would say understanding my village, man.
Yes, sir. That's powerful.
I'm a father and a fiance, husband to be. A son, a brother, a cousin. So
Yes, sir.
My success is the epitome of what's poured into me, and I just kind of pushes it out. Family, man. My regiment, health over wealth.
Yes, sir.
I start my day off understanding.
And I'm working on it. I know y'all see this. This is a special occasion, so toast.
Toast. Yeah.
We're gonna get back to the personal development.
Yeah. But understanding the best ability is availability. as cliche as that is.
Yes, sir. The best ability
is
is
availability.
availability. What do you touch on that? 'Cause that's deep.
If I'm not available mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, then I'm a zombie for my family. I'm a zombie in business. I'm a zombie amongst pedestrians. I'm a zombie just walking this earth.
Yeah, earth, for sure.
You know, that's counterproductive to the rules of engagement. And you gotta be available.
That's deep. The best ability is availability.
It's availability.
That's deep.
You know, and like my support system is unmatched. Like, man, like my fiance, my wife to be, you know, like she is like a CEO. Like I give her kudos because the burden she takes. I mean, cause she got for one, I got 3 girls and a bonus son. So we got we got a little basketball team almost, you know, cause and also not being too egotistical to think you just macho, but knowing, hey, I'm gonna push the point, you may push the forward.
You need help. You need that help.
You know, or I may push the center and you push the point. Either way it go, we gotta get a bucket.
Yes, sir.
If we ain't getting no bucket, then what we doing?
What we doing? We ain't growing.
We gotta get a bucket. And that's metaphorically speaking, but in life general, you better get a bucket. You gotta win. And even if you don't win, you gotta try to win. You know, why lose when you can win?
Most definitely. And I like that where you said get a bucket and just you see your family structure as a team. And that's important because I always talk about, like I started in the beginning of this video talking about that network. What better network than your loved ones that's close to you? And that's what has allowed me to really grow and be successful in my business, right? Start within my family, right? I always say each one teach one. We got this information, we got this knowledge. Let your family know the play. Let your family know, hey, this is what we doing. This is the information I got. This is where we trying to get to. All hands in, right?
Yeah.
No matter how or what role a person is playing, make sure that, like Jay is saying, you available, but it's hard to get everybody on board and believing in you if you're not really even believing in yourself and if you're not available within yourself. Yeah. And that's why I really wanted to talk about this question on personal development, because if you're not right, if you're not available, like he said, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, then not only is your business not going to succeed and thrive, but on your personal life, you got to take care of that, right? So start with home. It's very important that he's saying it. Just the fact that this brother is sitting here speaking highly of on his fiance and his wife to be, his children, and he knows that this is the driving force behind his performance on a daily basis, personally and professionally, is something that is very important that we share with you guys, you know? And I feel the exact same way because let's be honest, right? Can we really push the limit to get results and have extreme success thinking just about our own personal goals and ourselves? No. Absolutely not, right? If you want to be successful, you have to keep other people in mind. And that's one of the reasons why I'm passionate about doing these interviews. That's one of these reasons why I'm passionate about Gatsby Knows Real Estate, because this guy is successful in his field. I'm successful in real estate. Do we really have to take the time to step aside to come and share our stories and share our experiences and share our values? No. Are we going to benefit from it? Yes, we're going to benefit monetarily, but it's not about that. The greatest benefit is knowing that we're able to pass these things that have been instrumental in our growth and success on, and that this can radiate out there to anybody that's willing to listen. And not only somebody that's willing to listen, but if they listen and they take it, they take heed, and they implement it, we guarantee you growth. Word. We guarantee you success, and we guarantee you a positive space and peace in your mind and in your household, right? And so that's why this was important to me, and I know that Jay was the perfect guy to speak on it as he delivered it so well, the importance of you're having the ability to be available. And I like the way you put that. And you guys should really write that down if you're somebody that keep affirmations or sticky notes, is really be available, be present within yourself. When you wake up, be intentional. Know that know you're there. Know that what you're looking to do. When you're looking into this industry, when you're looking to, hey, should I get the Top Tier Solution 7 Steps to Success course? Like, you got to know that, yes, you're getting ready to start in this business, because guess what? Whether it's Jay, whether it's myself, we all started from scratch, right? I had to invest. This just didn't happen randomly. Like, I had to spend money on education, but even more valuable than money is the time you spend investing in your success, right? We had to spend time getting knowledge. We had to spend time investing in our families. He has to spend time in his fitness. I got to spend time in my fitness. I'm trying to lose weight. I got to invest the time to do so. It got to be disciplined. But the result of that, spending that time and putting that investment to be available, is going to yield those success results. You know what I'm saying? So that's extremely powerful. I really, it's so high up right now on the personal development. We can stop there, but I feel like the people really, really, really want to get a little bit more. They want to get a little bit more. So what I would say is, what I want to talk to you about next is just, what does the future look like for you in the real estate industry overall? Like, knowing the commercial side of things, you've done big projects that you talked about with the Menards, the Detroit Shipping Company, and many more that I personally know about. Just having that experience, what does the future look like in the commercial real estate space as well as the residential real estate space for you? Like, what's the goal?
No ceilings. Sky's the limit. And
shout out Lil Wayne.
Louisiana. So my efforts, my determination is going to take me beyond what I can see.
Yes, sir.
So the vision, I'm just a vessel, and I'm moving to the beat of my own drum. Wherever God take them, I'm not sure if y'all religious or spiritual. Yes, sir. Whoever y'all maker is, that's fine.
We believe in God over here.
Over here we do.
You too, don't take us down.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. There is no lack thereof. There is no incompetency. There's always self-growth. Proper performance proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yes, sir.
I live by that.
Yes, sir.
I live by that. I set goals for myself. I give myself daily affirmations.
Yes, sir.
I feed my own spirit.
Yes, sir.
And the thing is, I don't need no one else to pour into me.
Right.
I think that's the gift in itself, that I've been able to attain, where I'm my biggest critic. And end of the day, I look myself in the mirror. So if I'm gonna be happy with me, I'm sure everyone else I pour into gonna be happy with me.
Yes, sir. And I always talk about that too. I talk about a lot of stuff, but but I gotta say this because he's right. I always tell people, whether it comes to your kids, whether it comes to your family, whether it comes to your job, whether it comes to your business, if you not right, ain't none of that gonna be right. If I'm not right, I may think that I'm doing right for my daughter, for my mother, for my family, but they're getting a small percentage, because until I'm giving myself that 100%, that 1000%, where I'm feeling high up, I'm feeling fresh, I'm getting results, I got my peace of mind, until I get myself to that individual space, everything around me is really getting a minimal percentage, even if I tell myself difference. So like Jay saying, the first level of reassurance that has to be had is with yourself.
Yeah.
And some of you guys out there, we hear all this information. We hear all these people talk about success. We hear all these courses and sales. This ain't about that. This is about you really tapping into yourself and saying, hey, this industry is an opportunity to change my life. You're looking at two brothers who started entry-level sales and marketing, and that was 8 years ago. Yeah. Imagine where we started from just with our upbringing, which we'll talk about on another episode, right? But we started from scratch, and we've developed these skills, and we've developed this accountability, and we've developed this being intentional about what it is that we're going to do, and we utilize that in this real estate industry each and every day to yield the fruit from it, right? And you're looking at two people sitting here in front of you who operate on two completely total different sides of the real estate industry, but the principles come together to make it the one industry.
Yeah.
So if you got the principles that we're talking about on this show today, then you will be in a position to have success in this real estate industry. And this is an industry that's going to be around for the rest of our lives. So get in where you fit in. Whether that's wholesaling, whether that's the commercial side of things, whether that's an investor, fix and flipper, whether you're going to buy rental properties, whatever you're going to do in this industry, as me and Jay have sat here and talked to you guys today, the most important thing that I would say take away, and I'm pretty sure he will agree because he spoke on it, is the personal principles and habits that are going to put you in a position to be in the best place for success.
And to speak to that, being available and knowing that success is given to the people that take it and not wait for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that being said, listen, a lot of jewels were dropped here. Obviously, Jay got a lot more to talk about and tell his story. I got a lot more to talk about. I'm pretty sure we definitely going to be sitting down again as we continue to grow and progress throughout life and experience more levels of success. He's definitely a brother that I'm definitely going to want to have back on this show to sit down with, to bring you guys that more progressive growth, not only from a material standpoint that we'll talk about, but as we're growing anything materialistic, best believe it's the personal growth behind it that's pushing it. And as we continue to evolve, because it's never over, we're going to sit down, we're going to toast, and we're going to share this information for you guys. And we hope you're taking a lot away from it. Till next time.